Here we are going to convert between decimal fractions and common fractions without using a calculator. Okay, so the best way to get it into a common fraction is to remember that a decimal is already in its form factor, is giving you something out of 10 or 100 or 1,000 and so on, something with 1 and a bunch of zeros in the denominator. So what is 4 comma 5 as just a fraction that we can say out of something out of 10? That is actually 4 and 5 out of 10. Here mixed numbers are quite useful. The other way to look at it is you can say that's actually 45 tenths. So either of these is an acceptable way of showing your calculation. And then the deal with getting it to a common fraction is it obviously needs to be in simplest form. Okay, so that would be 4 and 5 over 10, but what is 5 over 10 as simplest possible fraction? Well, it would be 1 over 2. So that would be 4.5 as a mixed number, and then to get it into simplest possible common fraction, you'd have to do the conversion. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9 over 2. So that's how we went. We went decimal to mixed number that wasn't simplified, mixed number that was simplified, and then into an improper common fraction. Okay, what if we did it this way? What if we realized that's actually 45 over 10? Then what we do is we would take the 45 over 10 and we would convert that to simplest form. And that would say something that goes into 45 and 10 would be 5. 5 goes into 45 9 times, and 5 goes into 10 twice, giving us exactly the same answer as when we used the other method. Changing 12 out of 50 into a decimal fraction would be more useful if we could get it, instead of out of 50, if we could get it out of 10 or 100 or 1,000. So it's going to feel quite similar to converting to percentage. 50 can be converted to something out of 100. 50 multiplies by 2 to get 100. 12 multiplies by 2 and we'll get 24. 24 over 100 is 0.24 because those digits are these digits. Okay, you can check these out on the calculator, but isn't that cool? It converts straight away if you get it into a fraction over 10 or 100 or 1,000. Okay, this number is negative and we want to convert it into a common fraction. Don't get worried by the negatives. It's just going to be a negative answer as well. So I can put that down straight away. I know I'm going to have an answer that is negative. Okay, it's 0.12, which means it is 12 over 100. There's my 100 over there. My zeros are also those two decimal places. Okay, 12 over 100, well, it will be negative 12 over 100. Needs to now simplify. So 2 goes into 12 6 times, and 2 goes into 100 50 times. Is 6 out of 50 simplest possible form? No. You know what I could have done? I could have divided the 12 by 4 to get 3, but I'm going to get there anyway. 2 goes into 6 3 times, it will be negative, and 2 goes into 50. My answer is negative 3 over 25. 7 out of 25 as a decimal fraction will be a lot easier to work with if we can make it out of 100. I'm immediately looking for that because I know that 25 goes into 100. 25 goes into 100 4 times, and so I'm going to multiply by 4 to convert the fraction. 7 times 4 is 28, which means as a decimal it's 0.28. This one's got lots and lots of things after the comma. So that is going to be 5 out of, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros with a 1 on the left hand side. So that's actually 5 out of 10,000. Okay, and that can be converted to a simpler fraction. 5 goes into itself once, and you might need to use the calculator to tell how many times 5 goes into 10,000. It's 2,000 times. And then you've done a baby step on the calculator, but you haven't done the whole thing on the calculator, and that's what we need from you, is to do the main calculations in your head. What about an improper fraction like this? You can see that the top is bigger than the bottom. You know what? I still need it to be something out of 10 or 100 or 1,000. And I can see that I can convert to something out of 100. I'm going to multiply by 2 over 2. 121 times 2 is 242 out of 100. Okay, so it's going to be something that's got numbers before the comma because it's an improper fraction, and then we're going to have 2 places after the comma. And those 2 places after the comma are going to come from the 4 and the 2. Either you can see that the way that I'm describing it, or possibly there's another way to look at it. Maybe we need to take this number and convert it to a mixed number first. Okay, so 50 goes into 121 twice, and what's left over? 21. And it'll be the same denominator. So it could be 2 and 21 over 50. Okay, now we just need the 21 over 50 to become something over 100. Okay, so that's the same as 2 and 42 over 100. There's my 2 and there's my 42 over 100.